Hello, everybody. Welcome to Code 45. I'm your host, Beat 'em Down. Today, I'm joined by a special guest. He is the CEO of the Fandemic tour that will be coming here in September from the 14th all the way to the 16th. He's also placed third place in the Robert Downey Jr. Lookalike contest and an absolute silver fox. Ladies and gentlemen, CEO John Macaluso. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Brandon. How are you?
Doing excellent, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me today. I really appreciate it. I know you're extremely busy because you got a really big show coming up. And I just want to pick your brain for a couple of questions if you have time.
I do have time, and it's my pleasure.
Excellent. My first question for you, sir, is most people will know you as a CEO for Wizard World from like 2012 to 2016, and you stepped away from the mantle. What did you do within that short period of time, and what made you come back? What dragged you back into the business of cons?
Well, it's a really interesting question. When I left Wizard World, I do a bunch of other things, and I realized how much I miss being in the live event business. And there's a real joy that comes with really seeing so many people just completely engulfed in the enjoyment of an event. And I got a couple of phone calls from, I won't name them, but from a couple of my buddies who are in the entertainment industry, and they said to me, John, you got to come back and you got to do a show. And I thought about it. I was enjoying retirement a little bit. Not that anyone around me was enjoying me being retired. I thought about it, and I said, you know what? It really has grown into a passion, and it's grown into something that I really enjoyed and loved doing. So to me, I took my time in trying to find the right location, because there's, as you know, there's so many events around the country. Mm-hmm. When there was another show in your city, when that show had a hiccup, I said, since we all know that Houston is going to be the third largest city in the country very soon, there's certainly room for another event. And when I reached out to the NRG Center, they couldn't have been any more helpful, any more delightful to work with. So I said, that's it. That's where I'm going to plant my flag. My flag is to be planted in Houston. I think that the city already has a great show in Macaluso, mm-hmm. and I think that the city is certainly big enough to grow another show. And I think the fans would like another show. That's how I got back into it.
Excellent.
And last year, when we were going to do our first show and Hurricane Harvey came, it was devastating for all the people in Houston. On a personal level, it was devastating for me too, because we were geared up, ready to rock and roll, and it was emotionally a very tough period, because you put all this time and all this effort into creating an event, and all of a sudden it's gone.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that actually naturally led into my next question. I wanted to know, like, what kind of hailed the triumphant return for you to wind up going to Sacramento, honestly a glorious comeback, because it was pretty detrimental when Hurricane Harvey did happen, because it put a lot of people down here in Houston out of whack, as well as you said earlier. Kind of walk me through how things kind of just worked out perfectly for you when with the whole Sacramento situation.
Well, it's, again, things happen for a reason. Mm-hmm. So, my old company decided not to go back to Sacramento, and I got a phone call from the Sacramento Convention Center, and I said, "Are you sure? Really make sure." They said they weren't coming back, and I said, that I'd like to do a show there. I produced 3 incredibly successful shows in Sacramento. I think Sacramento is a really, really good city, but I will tell you, I am so excited for this Houston show, and I'm really glad that we did the Sacramento show just to get a show under our belt, because we believe the Houston show is going to be a much bigger show. The star power that's coming is really fantastic. The artists that are coming, we've got some world-renowned artists. The vendors that are coming all across the country. There's such an excitement level that's building. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. In Houston, that again, I'm getting to that, it's 50 days away. I'm excited again.
I read reviews of the Sacramento Fandemic tour, and it's a lot of really positive things, really good things said about the show. But one thing that really caught my attention was the fact that when they opened those doors, you were standing there front lines like William Wallace greeting fans, giving them high fives, being involved and excited, showing that you actually have a love for what you do. And it made me think about your particular mission statement, which was it's
Take
very
care of the
simple.
fan, take care of the fan, and take care of the fan.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So I wanted you to tell me more about what that mission statement means to you personally, especially with the background with Wizard World, and what would set set Fandemic Tour apart away from other Comic Cons.
Okay, it's pretty easy actually. I look at every event like you're coming to my house. So I want to make sure that if you're coming to my house, you're going to get an incredibly warm, friendly experience. And that kind of just lends itself over into the event business. So when you come to our Fandemic show in September, I want you to feel like you're coming to my house. We're going to do the best to give you great line control. We're going to do the best that we could do to get you in and out. Logistically, we want to run a great show for the fans. And I feel it's important for the CEO to lead by example. One of the fun parts of the day is going out there and greeting everybody that walks through those doors. And I like doing it. I've done it since day one. My whole team comes out there with me. And we try and make the fans and the attendees feel like, hey, we're here for you. What can we do to help you? So that's, and I've read a bunch of those comments also, and they really make you feel, kind of good. I've got so many emails, people thanking me for bringing the show to Sacramento, people thanking me for coming to Houston. And I got to tell you, it's as much fun for me as it is for them.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that because even when I saw the press release and the fact that you were available to actually be talked to, I was taken aback by that because that's typically not really a because like I deal with Macaluso on a regular basis. There's a lot of great people there, but to talk to somebody that high up that's in control is like unheard of. At least in my end, in my experiences. So I really appreciate that, and I think that really rings true, especially with the selection of your guest. I've noticed you pick a lot of people who are notoriously really good with fans. Was that on purpose with your selection? And who else do you have coming on the show for September 14th to 16th?
It's funny that you say that. 96% of everyone you see up there on that page are personal friends of mine now at this point. So we're all very similar in a certain way. When you think about guys like Norman and Jeff and Bruce and Sebastian, you think of JDF, and you think of Sean Patrick Flannery and Rooker and all these guys. They're just great guys.
Absolutely.
And they give the fans a great experience. And I think that when all is said and done, that's the intent here, to give the fan a great experience. Guys like Steven Yeun, they're just warm individuals. Wait till you meet Milo. I mean, Milo is off the charts. Just since I'm a lot older than Milo, I could say this. He's a great kid. And you meet John Schneider and Rosenbaum and Dean Cain. They're just terrific guys. Now, I have never met Tom Welling, and I'm very excited to meet Tom Welling. I had the pleasure of meeting Chris Sullivan and Sean Gunn for the first time in Sacramento.
Right.
Fantastic guys. And Batista's been to a bunch of my shows, and besides being big and massive, he's just a nice man. And, James Marster and I have been buddies now for, 7 years. Claire is, again, a 7-year friend since I got started in this industry. I'm excited.
As am I, sir. I gotta say it's a stacked deck. You have like the who's who as far as the Walking Dead people, Jeffrey D. Morgan, like you said, Norman Reedus, Steven Yeun. You got Bucky himself, Sebastian Stan. Bruce Campbell's coming, is correct?
My boy.
It's literally a who's who, especially fan favorites. And
I will tell you this, that if you want to go to a great panel, go to Bruce's.
Oh, I heard a lot of things about it, and I definitely plan on making it there. And thank you again, because we're actually permitted to be pressed there, so I'm really excited to be there for the first Houston version of the Fandemic tour. Again, Mr. Macaluso, I really appreciate you taking the time, talking with our listeners, and let us know what's going on.
First of all, it's my pleasure to be on your show. It goes back to how you treat people, and to me, it's a pleasure to talk to everybody. Who knows? You may be the president of ABC one day.
I don't know, man. My Twitter feed's pretty crazy. I don't know if that's going to work out for me.
Well, listen, I only wish you well, and it's my pleasure to chat with you.
I appreciate that, sir. Hopefully I can bump into you on the show floor and give you a t-shirt. You, sir, have a good one. I will see you at the show. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, John Macaluso, CEO of the Fandemic Tour. We will be doing a bunch of coverage there. You'll be seeing us goofing around. We cannot wait to see you guys there in Houston, Texas. Thank you again, sir. I really appreciate that. You have a good day.
Thanks, Brandon. Thank you.